Better Phoenix has emerged onto the scene and created quite the buzz with her electric personality and fast-paced gameplay. There is way more to this agent than you think, so let's go over 10 tips you need to know before playing Neon. I'm Chill, and let's get into it. The first and arguably most important thing to know about Neon is how to use her high gear ability to reach her full potential as an entry fragger. High gear is essentially a toggle on-off switch to go fast or normal speed.
I want to go fast.
As her description says, Neon races ahead to catch enemies off guard and strikes them down quicker than lightning. High gear allows you to do this in several ways. For instance, re-equipping your weapon after and at times during the slide animation. The equip speed of a gun can determine how fast you can pull out your gun after sliding. The fastest equip speed is 0.75. You can technically start shooting just before your slide ends. You can take advantage of this with most of the sidearms, excluding the Frenzy and Sheriff, as well as the Stinger and Spectre. Think about how well the Stinger and Spectre perform while moving at close range, and now pair that with a slide at Mach 5 speeds. Yeah, that's kinda scary. When high gear is active, using Concuss or Wall will not interrupt your sprint or decrease its speed, which allows you to entry and follow up with your abilities very quickly. Something that is a little less important to know but could still prove to be useful is the fact that you can slide unlimited times in the buy phase. You can basically spam your high gear and slide, which is actually a bit faster than just sprinting with the high gear alone. Other than that, you can use this time to flex on your teammates by explaining how your increased speed is directly correlated with your Valorant IQ. Your slide actually recharges when you ult, meaning you can slide, ult, and slide again. A scenario that I imagine this used in would be when entering a site. You could throw your wall and then slide through it to avoid an eager enemy peek, activate your ult, and then slide back through the wall to catch an enemy off guard on the other side. There are limitless applications for this combo, but using it could make you very annoying to kill. Moving on to another great ability in Neon's kit, and that is her Relay Bolt or Concuss. The Concuss bounces off surfaces and leaves a small circle radius where the bolts hit. The bolts can be thrown at any height and will always concuss anything below, no matter how high up it is. You can also use your mini-map to determine where exactly your bolts hit. I would suggest going into a custom game and experimenting with it for a bit. See what concuss spots you can find and how projectiles function. It is essentially a full power Sova dart if you need something to reference. The concuss area of effect also goes through walls, so kick your forehead into 5-head mode and get a little creative with your relay bolts. Depending on how close the two bounces are to each other when they hit a surface, the concuss circles will activate either close together or far apart. A common entry tactic you may see a lot of Neon players use is to just spam all your abilities at once. And this can be both frustrating and challenging to play against. That being said, we want to be difficult to deal with as Neon. So the best way to do this would be to activate your high gear, concuss first, and wall second. And of course, don't forget to slide around the corner. You're not a Neon player if you don't do that. The reason you want to do this is because of the timing and activation of each ability. Activating high gear first allows you to run while you throw your wall and concuss. You can concuss second because you will be following the orb you threw close behind. If you threw it after the wall, you may already be too close to where the concuss lands, hitting not only your enemy but yourself. Concussing yourself, although funny to your teammates and opponents, is quite the opposite of everything Neon stands for, or I guess runs for. The wall goes last in line, and this not only helps you entry faster, but allows your team to take advantage of the wall cover longer than if you use your wall first in the chain of ability activations. This timing can change depending on how long the lane is. Concussing enemies playing in cubbies especially is a really good way to get a free kill. Since the concuss ability has 2 bounces, it can get full coverage of most cubbies in the game. Another great way to concuss and get maximum value out of this ability is to use it for 2 common spots enemies may be. Here is an example. If you want to see more of these, I will be making a Relay Bolt lineup guide, so if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. Neon's wall ability functions similarly to Phoenix's wall, only it lasts 6 seconds compared to Phoenix's 8. And, there's 2 walls. Like Phoenix's, it does 30 damage per second. It also lasts 6 seconds as compared to Phoenix's wall, which lasts 8 seconds. That being said, another way to wall may be to use it to misdirect enemies by running on the outsides of the walls instead of between the walls. The wall is great for site takes, and this mirrors the common jet dash into smoke entry tactic. You get onto site quickly with cover and allow your teammates to follow in after trading or getting a pick. Be aware people love swinging through and catching you mid-sprint animation, so either don't activate high gear or have a teammate flash for you and hold an angle at the beginning of your wall so they can easily trade if need be. At 0 to 15 meters, your ult will do 22 damage. At 15 to 42, it will do between 22 and 10 damage. And at 43 plus meters, it will do 10. There's no crit either, so you don't need to worry about headshots. Mastering your tracking skills will be important if you want to be successful with this particular ult. Also, keep in mind that your high gear automatically activates while you are in your ult, so you don't need to activate it before ulting. Always keep moving while using your ult. You are still very accurate while running in your ult, and it makes it harder to be killed. If you're close range, you can jump, but your accuracy does decrease significantly when doing this, so I would be careful with it. Although you can probably still get away with it more often than not, as we've seen with many guns in this game. Mastering movement can get you more kills. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. There's obviously more to getting kills than just movement, but I think it plays an integral role in getting picks. Movement obviously isn't all you need to get kills, but it sure helps. You can slide in multiple directions by holding W and A or W and D. Another direction is actually backwards. Check out this clip from Valorant Red. He uses this slide mechanic to slide backwards. So how is this accomplished? This can be quite challenging at first, but with a little practice, you'll be styling on the enemy in no time. For this to work, you will need to jump, then as you hit the ground, you want to tap S and slide at the same time. It may take a while to get because your timing needs to be on point for it to work. The main takeaway here is that similar to Raze or Jet, mastering the mechanics of your movement abilities can net you more kills, make you harder to hit, and create more opportunities for your team as an entry fragger. This brings us nicely into the final tip. For a more advanced use of her abilities when high gear is active, you can jiggle peek even faster than normal due to the increase in movement speed. You can jiggle on a post plant as an attacker to pull the diffuser off bomb, or you can jump jiggle against an opper. This goes right back to mastering movement and how doing so can elevate your Neon game. Alright guys, that about sums up 10 tips you definitely need to know before playing Neon. Hit that good looking sub button, drop a like, let me know in the comments where you think Neon belongs in the meta, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
One enemy remaining.
Jen, you can chill your. Let's go!
Nice shot.
They are dead.